We are actually within the precinct of the police station. I don't know how far that police station was from you, from where you conducted that interview with that accused person while seated in that red Golf. But you are at the police station. Is there anything that really stopped you from saying, accused, let me go and request that we be allocated with an office in this police station for us to go sit in the police station in the office to conduct this investigation?
My Lord, no. There was nothing that prohibiting me, but as I've said, my Lord, you need to take the context of how we found ourselves there and what was pending. And that's why I explained that I was informed by the members that they were en route. If I wanted to interview the accused, if there were no other engagements, I would have told them to bring him directly to the provincial office or the national office, because that's my office. But not wanting to interfere with their line of investigation when they told me they were going to Phosphorus, I asked them to meet me at Phosphorus police station because they were en route. That's the first part, my Lord. Then the second part, I had no knowledge of knowing in advance that when I get to accused number one, he will confirm that he's making a confession and make a confession to me. I didn't know. Now, with that limited information, on what basis do I activate the formalities of the office to do what, my Lord? Because like I said, if I go to him and I detected that, for example, he was not in his sober and clear senses, that would have been the end of my engagement with him in terms of protecting his right. Or if I go to him and he says, no, I've changed my mind, I do not want to make any statements, that is the end of it. Meaning, when this discussion between myself and him ends, the members must carry on with the investigation, because the purpose was not to interfere with the investigation. It was only when it became clear that he was implicating himself in this case and he was willing to make a statement freely and voluntarily to someone independent, that I then kicked in and said, let's go to Ayrton. So I could not have arranged an office for something that I do not know at the time, my Lord.
Akukho-ke okwakungivimba ukuthi-ke ngingasebenzise-ke ihhovisi nanjengoba-ke sasilapho-ke eFostorus lase-police station, kodwa ngangizothi uma manje sengenza-ke amalungiselelo ukuthi ngihambe ngehhovisi ngithi ngiyokwenzani-ke lapho, ngoba-ke angazi ukuthi wayeyini awazoyikhuluma kumina-ke nokuthi wayezothi yebo lokhu-ke okuzwile yebo ngisakusho ngiyaqhubeka ngamo, noma uma ngifika kuyena athi cha lokhu-ke okuzwile angisaqhubekeki ngakho angisakusho-ke. Futhi-ke lana okunye futhi okufanele ukunakeke ukuthi lana-ke kwakuphenywa-ke kuphenywa elinye icala, bangitshela ukuthi baya eFostorus, ila engabacela khona ukuthi asihlanganeni-ke eFostorus. Manje-ke ukuthi-ke isikhathi sangizosola kuphi-ke nokuthi ngizokuthi ngikwenza kanjani ukuthi ngihambe ngiyocela ihhovisi khona lapho ngingazi ukuthi yini le engangizoyitshelwa uyena umsola. Kungenkathi-ke sengikhuluma naye esengitshela-ke lokho angitshela khona la engathi khona-ke manje sekulungeleke ukuthi angakhuluma nelinye iphoyisa elingahlangene nalo luphenyo, ngathi-ke akuhanjwe kuyiwe e-Ayrton.
Brigadier, there's nothing that we're disturbing here. You are already at the police station. In any event, you had already disturbed their movement by saying to them, let us meet at the police station. We are now at the police station. And you know that there's a person, you knew that there's a person that I needed to conduct an interview with, and I'm within the precinct of the police station. And you are saying it was not necessary for you to request an office in that police station where you are, where you could have, which office you could have utilized to conduct this interview with that accused person. That's what you're saying?
No, no, my Lord. I think I've tried to explain, my Lord, and I'll repeat again. The members, the arresting team that arrested accused number one, were en route to Phosphorus. That is why I had to drive and meet them in Phosphorus so that I don't take them out of their route from the place where accused number 1 was arrested. So that's the first part, man.
Okokuqala ke manje babe ngishilo ukuthi ithimba leli ke babephenya futhi basho ke ukuthi basidile khona ke ePhosphorus. Ingakho ngathi ke asihlanganini ePhosphorus ngingabakhiphi ke la umzila lo ababehamba kuwona noma umgwaqo lo ababehamba kuwona.
And secondly, my lord, I did not know what accused number 1 will say to me in advance because I didn't speak to him. I was just told he's making some form of admission. I needed to speak to him, and to make sure that he is aware of his rights, as I alluded, my lord. When that part was done, that's when then I made a request to divert them from their way now to say, please, park what you are doing, let us proceed now to Eroton, because then this part for me, it was important that the interest of justice, insofar as this matter is concerned, is also taken into account in light of the confession that he was making. But that came after, my lord, it became clear that he was aware of his right, freed and voluntary, making such assertions, and he was willing to make the confession to an independent officer. For example, my lord, had he said to me, yes, I want to make a confession, but I want to make it to you, I don't want to go to an independent officer, then yes, I would not have taken the confession in the car. I would have then found it necessary to arrange an office there to sit down and formalize the writing if he made that choice. But when he said, yes, I'm willing, then I started making the arrangements. Prior to that, I didn't see a need, my lord, to arrange an office at Phosphorus ACPS.
Okwesibili ke ngangakwazi awayezokusho kumina ke umsolwa ngakho kwakufanele ukuthi ngihlangane naye ke ngikhulumisane naye ngibe nesiqiniseko sokuthi amalungelo akhe uyawazi uyawezwa ngiqiniseke futhi ukuthi ke ngikwasemqondweni ke umqondo wakhe ke akukho okumphazamisayo ke ukwisimo sokuthi ke angathi akhulumeke kusemuva ke ukuthi ngikhulumile naye ke ngase ngizwa ke lokhu ayengitshela kona la engenza isicelo kulaba ke babehamba naye ke ukuthi manje ke ngenxa ke yobulungiswa kusemqoka ke lokhu angitshela kona ke ngiyacela ukuthi manje ngabusaqhubeka asimini ngalokhu ninake ebenikuzele lana kodwa ke siqhubeke ngalokhu futhi ke uma kuwukuthi wayeshilo ke kumina yebo ngazi ukuthi ke lokho abayikusho wayigonyuluka noma kuyiconfession kodwa ke ngoba wayeshilo ukuthi uyimisela ukuthi akakhuluma ke nomunye engasiyona ke ingxenye yethimba lelo liphenyayo ngase ke ngimdlulisela ke na ke uKenel Mboto kodwa uma kuwukuthi wayekhethe ukuthi yebo ngiyafuna ukuthi ngikhulume kodwa ngifuna ukukhuluma kuwena ke yila engangizofuna khona ke ihhovisi khona lapha epolice station kodwa ayisibona lokho awakukhetha.
Thank you, Brigadier. I see you taking off your jacket. It's getting hot. I would have requested to take my gown out as well. It's really getting hot. But unfortunately, ethics do not allow me to do that. Thank you, Brigadier. Are you then saying, Brigadier, that you needed to know first what the accused would have said before you would have requested for an office there at the Phosphorus police station?
No, my lord, I'm saying I could not have arranged an office when I do not know what I'm arranging an office for. That is the essence of my question, of my response. I arrange an office for what purpose? The members are telling me their own route to Phosphorus. I know based on that information, my lord, based on my experience, it can go two ways. I can go there, the accused may have changed his mind, the members must carry on with their line of investigation. Hence, I wanted to meet them en route of what they were doing. Or he decided now, I don't want to carry on with what I've said. I didn't know, my lord. And based on that, I could not have arranged an office for something that I don't know. That's what I'm saying, my lord.
Engikushoyo ukuthi ngangazi ukuthi ke yini ke engangizofika uma ngifika ke na ke umsolo ayisho kumina ke ngangafika lapho aqhubeke ngempela nalokho engakutshela ukuthi yikona ayivuma ngangafika lapho athi kumina ke cha angisakhulumi ke lento oyizwile ukuthi ayiyona ke ngishoyo futhi manje bangishilo ke ukuthi ke babeqhubeka ke nophenyo labo ngase ngibacela ukuthi asihlangane khona ke ePhosphorus ngangeke ke ngifune ihhovisi ngingazi ukuthi yini ngizothi ihhovisi ngilifunelani yini engizoyitshela uyena umsolo.
Thank you, Brigadier. Are you again, Brigadier, saying that you did not arrange or you did not request an office at Fort Flores police station, in whose packing you conducted this interview with this accused, when you knew that the reason why you had to go to Fort Flores police station was to go and interview accused? Number one. That interview of accused number one, was that not the reason why you should have requested for an office at Fort Flores police station?
No, my lord.
Yes.
Investigations, when you're embarking on an investigation, and I'm saying this with greatest respect, I'm not aware that when we investigate, every time you want to engage with an accused person or a suspect, you must arrange an office for them. Suspects get arrested on the street, they're given their rights. Police officers, based on the information that they have, if they need to follow it up, they follow it up. You can't say first you must go to the office before you start questioning a person to follow up certain things. That's not how it's done. It's not practical. It's if you have knowledge, meaning like the end results where the person, meaning accused number one, says, I am willing to make this confession to a free and independent person, then the formalities of the person and the arrangement and the offices kicks in. But you cannot now, when you meet the suspect for the first time, it must be taken note, my lord, that this was the first time I was meeting accused number one myself. I didn't know what he was going to say. I was going there first to ensure that his rights, he's aware of his rights and hear what he needs to say. It was in the scope of investigation. What do I arrange for what, my lord, when I've not heard what he wants to say to me, and what mechanism I'm going to put in place to document what he's telling me? It was premature, my lord.
Ukuthi-ke ngifuneke ihhovisi ngithi-ke ngizocela ihhovisi ngangizothi lokho ngikwenzelani-ke ngoba-ke kuyenzeka-ke ukuthi-ke abasolwa-ke akukho engikwaziyo mina-ke nanjengephoyisa engikwaziyo ukuthi-ke uma ngabe uhlangana naye umsolwa kufanele umthathe-ke noma uhlangane naye-ke ehhovisi abasolwa-ke bayaboshwa noma bayavinjwa-ke emgwaqweni kwenziwe-ke kodwa uma ngabe manje sekufanele-ke kuthathwe-ke iy'tatimende labagoduluka khona ama-confessions yila seqala khona-ke ukuthi kukhulunyweke ngey'ndaba zamahhovisi. Kwakukuqala-ke ngihlangana naye-ke umsolwa wokuqala ngaleliya langa, ngakho-ke ngangazi ukuthi kwakuyini ayezoyikhuluma noma-ke ayezoyisho mina.
Brigadier, wait. Are you saying for a suspect to be accorded the dignity as a human being of being interviewed in an office, the interviewer first needs to know what is it that the suspect will be telling him? Is that what you're telling this court?
No, but that's not what I'm saying, my lord. And it's incorrect to say that. My understanding of the constitutional rights, my lord, in terms of Section 35, there is no way in that provision where it says those rights must be given in an office. What the Constitution make it very clear is that the suspect must be made aware of his constitutional rights. Whether it's in the car, whether you're standing with him, he must know his rights. There is no provision that says it must be in an office as part of his constitutional rights. I'm not aware of that. That is why I said that was not something I could have arranged, because I didn't know what he was going to say, except to be focusing on his constitutional rights and then moving it from there, my lord.
Engikushoyo ukuthi-ke kuwona-ke umthethosisekelo angazi kukhona noma la usho khona-ke ukuthi-ke uma kufanele uchazeleke noma usho amalungelo kuyena umsolwa ukuthi lokho kufanele-ke ukwenze ehhovisi. Engikushoyo ukuthi-ke okwami kwakuqinisekisa-ke ukuthi laphayana amalungelo akhe uyawachazelwa futhi-ke uyawezwa ngale ndlela leyo-ke awachazelwa noma ashiwo ngayo kuyena.
Thank you, Brigadier. That is your understanding of how the process happens or should be done, not so. Your own understanding, not so.
No, that's not my understanding. It's what Section 35 says. Nowhere in Section 35 does it say those rights must be given in an office. I've read it, my lord. There's no such edition or section that says it must be done at the office. Whether it's on the street or even in the accused's house, when we are engaging him, what I'm aware, he or she must be made aware of his constitutional rights, and the responses, whatever the person elects to do, must then be respected in terms of the Constitution. There is no insertion there that says it must be in the offices. I'm not aware of such, my lord.
Engikushoyo ukuthi ke mina angazi kukhona noma ke akukho lapho kuona ke umthethosisekelo la eshoyo khona ke ukuthi lokho makwenziwa kufanele kwenziwe ke ehhovisi akuyona ke indlela engichaza ngayo kodwa ngithi nje akukho lapho umthethosisekelo uma ngabe umnikeza amalungelo lokho ungakwenza la uhlangana naye khona noma kusemgaqweni noma kusendlini yakhe ukuthi nje okuba kusemqoka ukuthi kufanele ukuthi awatshele.
Brigadier Kininga, on the same token, which is your interpretation of Section 35, that very same Section 35 does not say the explanation of these rights can be done where you want to go do them, not so. Section 35 simply says these rights must be explained. It doesn't say you need to go and explain them wherever you are or in the police or in the office, not so.
My lord, my understanding of us police officers, when we start now looking at Section 35, you look into that section when you engage with a suspect person that you're investigating, so that that person is aware of the investigation that you're conducting, his constitutional right in terms of what he needs to do in terms of lawyers and all other rights that are there, my lord. That is my understanding. So that engagement is not limited to the office, to the street, to anywhere. And that's why I said there is no specification which says it must be done only in the offices. Wherever you engage the person of interest, a suspect, as long as you know that now this person before you is a suspect and you want to engage with this individual in terms of the case you are investigating, it is your duty to inform that person in terms of his constitutional rights, wherever that person may be, my lord. Whether it's a bedroom, it's on the street, it's on the car, my understanding of that provision is that you have an obligation to make that person aware of his rights before you engage that person in terms of your investigation.
Nanjengamaphoyisa ke sikwaziyo ukuthi noma ke okushiwo uyena ke uShefu 35 akukho la agcizelela khona ke noma ashoyo ke khona ke ukuthi lokho kufanele kwenziwe endaweni ethize noma endaweni ethizeni la uhlangana khona ke noma lo muntu uhlangane naye emgwaqweni noma lo muntu uhlangane noma ke uhlangane naye esekamereni lakhe esendlini yakhe akukho la ethi khona ke kufanele kube sehhovisi noma endaweni ethize okusemqoka ukuthi nje ngaphambi kokuthi ke ungaqhubeka wenze noma yini ke ofuna ukuthi uyenzeke naye kufanele ukuthi amalungelo lawo akhe awachazele.
So those are the reasons why, Brigadier, you then decided to conduct this interview. And I want you to mark this word interview as we close for today with accused number 1 in the motor vehicle. Those are the reasons why you decided to conduct this interview with accused number 1 in the vehicle, because Section 35 does not prescribe where these rights must be explained, that you did not know what this accused person would have come and tell you, and all these other things that you said.
No, my lord, I'm saying Section 35 does not limit, that's my understanding of Section 35, limit you as a police officer to only give those rights when the accused person or suspect is sitting in the office. You have a duty to give those rights even if he's on the street. Once you know this person is a person of interest and you want now to pursue that person in the course of investigation. That is why I emphasize the point, my lord, that it was part of this investigation that made me to go to Phosphorus. It was not an issue of saying, I'm going now to Phosphorus to take a warning statement, a formal interview. That is a different situation. That was not what drove me to Phosphorus. It was part of the investigation. In the midst of the investigation, then we engaged in terms of Section 35, subsequent to the response that was given to me when I said to accused number 1, I have a reason to believe that you are involved in you may be involved in the matter of Senzo Meyiwa. Then the utterances then changed the direction, as I'm saying, my lord, that led to Kennel Board. The purpose was investigation. This is important. And then the rights is the paramount key that the accused must be aware of his responses, then moved the direction to Colonel Mboto.
Lana ke ngangayile noma ngangayi eFosloras ngoba ngangiya lapho ngiyothatha khona ke i-warning statement kwakuyingxenye ke yoqhubeka nophenyo kulokho ke noqiniseka ke futhi ke ukuthi amalungelo akhe ngiyamtshela nokuthi futhi ke uyawezwa kulokho ke noma ke mase ngimtshela ke noma ngisho kuyena ke ukuthi ke nginezathu sokukholelwa ukuthi ke uyambandakanyeka ekulaweni kwakhe usenzo meyiwa impendulo zakhe ke noma ke lokho akusho emuva kwalokho ekwaholela ke ekuthini siyofinyelela ke noma siyofika kuyena uKolonel Mboto.
Now, Brigadier, we know that the point at which we are now, we are at the police station. We are not in the bushes, we are not in the field, we are not in the streets, we are in the perimeters of the police station. Not so?
Yes, we agree, my lord.
Thank you.